See right on there, March 6th.
Oh, wow. Well, happy anniversary.
What a way to celebrate, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a huge, wild day. And just for all the husbands out there, so you don't get in trouble, she booked her fight before mine on the anniversary. So be careful, guys.
Yep. Anniversary tips from Big Smile. I like it. That's got to be a segment, Bill. Anniversary tips from Big Smile.
Big Smile.
What's up, craft beer fans? We have Big Smile with us today. If you don't know, he is the guy fighting Shinigami in the East Coast West Coast title match on March 6th for Street Beefs. Big Smile, welcome to the show.
Thank you, guys. Happy to be here. I'm excited. It's gonna be a huge fight. You know, all smiles, all peace. Let's go.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Well, in Vegas, they said it would be a minute and a half plus minus for him to say it. So
what, minute and a half for him to say all smiles,
all peace,
all peace. So Big Smile, we are really excited to have you on the show. Like we told you in the pre-show meeting, we had Shinigami on here the other day. He was great, and then we've been going back and forth with you, and we're excited to have you on here. Excited to talk about your fight and get to learn a little bit more about Big Smile. So in the first interview we did, we kind of explained what Street Beefs is. So what we want to know is how you got into Street Beefs.
Okay, sure. So I've been watching it, for a good amount of time. I'd seen all Shinigami's fights, and, I've always been a good grappler, and I've been doing MMA for a bit, and I thought I could take over. I thought I could dominate, and I happened to have a friend in the Facebook group, and he was telling me he was going to take a fight. So I went ahead, I joined the group, and I took a fight right away. Meanwhile, he never did, but just finding out it was that easy to get a fight. As soon as I knew that, I took it. And then, I had like 4 fights within 3 or 4 months, and it's been great.
So what is your record in Street Beefs?
So I'm 4-0 in MMA, all finishes.
Undefeated. Now, are there different styles of fighting? Because I saw someone say that they did a boxing match, and you're saying MMA. So you can pick what style of fighting you do?
Yeah. So you can do MMA, boxing, kickboxing, cage boxing. I'm undefeated in jiu-jitsu as well at Street Beefs. I'm 3-0 in jiu-jitsu. They had a little jiu-jitsu tournament I won. So lots of different kinds of fighting you can do. You can do bare knuckle, wraps only boxing.
Ooh. Bill, we should do that against each other.
I'm ready. How does the jiu-jitsu work? Is it no striking to the face? How does that work?
So they had an option where you could either do combat jiu-jitsu or traditional, which would be no striking.
That's
combat
cool.
Jiu-jitsu, I really wanted someone to want to do it with me. Unfortunately, I didn't get any matches with that, but combat jiu-jitsu is very cool. Once it goes to the ground, you can do open hand striking. So it's you're wrestling and slapping each other up. It's pretty wild.
I challenge you, dude. I challenge you to one of those.
We got to get in this Facebook group, and I'm going to challenge you, Bill.
I gladly. I felt your punch once. I don't want to feel it again.
So how long have you been doing MMA? I saw on your Instagram you had some grappling championships. How long have you been doing mixed martial arts?
Mixed martial arts, probably just a little bit over a year, I would say. Just past that, maybe a year and a month.
And then the grappling championships. Tell us about those.
So I've been doing jiu-jitsu probably about 5 years, and I wrestled for about 5 years as well. I love jiu-jitsu. It's really fun. It definitely is my MMA base. Is a lot of it is jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and it's just it's a fun skill to have. It's really cool to be able to beat somebody up and not have to hit them. I love hitting people too, but I have the skill outside of the cage. I've never had to hurt anybody. Somebody messes with me, I can just throw them down and uncle them and stuff like that. So it's very practical skills.
And so, well, I know I'm gonna save the one question I want to ask. I think Bill's gonna ask it, but I noticed that I watched a bunch of your fights, to compare your fighting style to Shinigami's, and I noticed that most of the fights that you had, they never even got to the ground. I mean, it was just all striking, and then you were kind of like a hurricane of punches coming in there, and that was it. So
Yeah.
are you worried about, you know, getting tied up with Shinigami because you haven't really had the experience in street beefs? I mean, I know you have stuff you fought in other tournaments in the past, but he's a big guy. You tie him up.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I'm very confident in my grappling. Definitely one of my strengths. And I've had a few of my fights go to the ground, but I just finish it pretty quickly once we get there. But I'll tell you, I'm not afraid to go to the ground with him, but I do not want him on top of me, and he doesn't want me on top of him either. So like when it's big guys like that, we want to go to the ground, but it's a big deal who ends up on top.
The one advice I'll give you is just make sure you block that kick that Detail didn't block.
Uh-oh.
Yes, everyone's been saying that. My mom told me that exact same thing. She's like, I think you got it as long as you block that kick. You're a lot faster.
He puts the shin in Shinigami.
Yeah, I think he might fake high and go for like a body kick or something like that. So I'm definitely I'm aware of his kicking skill. I'm gonna try and get him tight to where the kicks aren't as effective. If you're close enough to somebody, you can't really kick them in the head.
That's true.
So who has hit you the hardest in all of your fights? And a lot of them didn't last very long. And I know
my first fight. It's actually the only time I've really been hit is my first fight.
Is that Boxing Boy?
His name is Boxing Boy. Yeah, that's the only fight he had. I wish he would come back because he was a solid opponent.
That's a tough first fight, man. That was a gutsy performance. I mean, for your first day, just to go in there against him, he could knock me out in like 3 seconds.
Bro, he was extremely explosive. I don't think, even in training, I don't think I've had anyone hit me quite like that. It didn't bother me at all in the moment, but just I could tell it was a lot of power, Definitely made me want to grapple.
It translated for sure. I could tell he was dangerous.
Yeah, but it was great for me as well because it taught me what to expect. Your first MMA fight, it's kind of like you think you know what everything's going to be like, but after really being in there, you actually know how the reality of it, if that makes sense.
What's one thing you didn't expect in the ring? You said, "Oh, wow, that was something I completely didn't expect."
Because I've always had great cardio in all sports. The adrenaline dump in my first fight was a little bit surprising. And I still felt like I could keep going, but I just felt like I lost a lot of power. But since then, I've really learned to use the adrenaline, and I almost feel like it's a strength now.
Yeah, you definitely start faster after the Boxing Boy fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take control. Gone well.
Have you been doing anything different to train for this fight? I mean, this one being a big East Coast, West Coast title fight, anything different? Or are you sticking with what has worked and what has gotten you this far?
Yeah, I'm sticking with what works. Of course, I'm addressing what he's strong at in training as well. And, it's more of a coincidence, but I've started working at my MMA gym as well. So I'm able to make a lot more practices because of that.
Yeah, I had him written down. I have him here, but Kaizen is a jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, Kaizen's my MMA gym.
Kaizen, MMA, and Fairfax Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, that's right.
That's who you train out of. Got that. Shout out to them.
Hey, thank you.
That's how he's here, right? They got you here.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
So are you gonna do try to shout out Shinigami, because that's what he's kind of known for? So maybe is that like an intimidation thing that he hears you shouting out him on the other side?
I don't like to do too many shout outs before the fight. I like to say it for after the fight when I'm real hype and intense.
Yeah, that's the way I would be for sure.
So tell me about this name, Big Smile. I mean, obviously you're a very happy guy. I think you've been smiling about 95% of this interview. Is that how you got the name? Is this a nickname that you've carried for a while?
That's a big piece of it. My first MMA coach, Bill Eastlick, he gave me the nickname. And yeah, it has to do with my grin. And, especially in person, just if we're having a good time, I'm just laughing, I'm grinning the whole time. And what he used to say, so the first phrase of it was, he used to say, he'll beat your ass, but he'll be the nicest person to ever do it. Big smile. I thought it was pretty cool.
I like that.
That's a compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And then this gesture. It's very WWE style. Are you a big WWE fan? I know Bill wanted to ask that question. I beat him to it.
Yeah, what the heck, man?
I definitely was a big WWE guy as a child, and I don't really watch it on TV, but I went in person. I think it was last year. It was a great time. I definitely acknowledge that to make it in this game, it helps to build that character a little bit. And my character is just myself magnified, but it definitely helps to try and create something everybody else can do. A hashtag, all the stuff you can do to try and get people involved is great.
Yeah, I like it. I think it makes you kind of stand out from some of the other guys that just have a cheesy name like Steel Wool or something.
Someone's probably gonna.
We're already gonna fight.
Yeah. Well, I'm just hyping up our fight after we hype up his fight.
Steel Wool. Anyway,
favorite wrestler, go.
Favorite wrestler, I guess Rey Mysterio.
Yes,
good one. I wasn't expecting that.
The movement is just insane. It's always mind-boggling to me. Just so impressive.
Were you an ECW guy?
I guess I was more WWE Raw, but it's whatever was on.
Well, Rey Mysterio, you should Google it, YouTube it. Did some crazy stuff in ECW.
I'm gonna have to check that out because he's the GOAT.
Rey and Psychosis, man.
Yeah. I wonder
he's
if
incredible.
Now. I mean,
I can only imagine moving the way he does.
I would love to see you do a Hurricane Rana.
I'm good to go.
619.
Say that 3 times fast, Bill.
Who they cut Rana? Anyway.
So, Bill, you were saying, and we were talking before the show that we noticed that there is a young lady that is with you in some of your photos. Is that your girlfriend?
Oh yeah, that's my wife. She's actually making her Street Beefs MMA debut March 6th as well. Oh. And it's our 1-year wedding anniversary. All on that
day.
Yeah. You have a photo right here. This is a book of our wedding anniversary, so you can see right on there, March 6th.
Oh wow! Well, happy anniversary.
What a way to celebrate, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be a huge, wild day. And just for all the husbands out there, so you don't get in trouble, she booked her fight before mine on the anniversary. So be careful, guys.
Yep. Anniversary tips from Big Smile. I like it. That's got to be a segment, Bill. Anniversary tips from Big Smile.
Big Smile. I guess during the week, if she says something and you snap, you can't be like, you don't know what I'm going through. She's like, yeah, I do. I'm about to smash some faces too and snatch some teeth. You're not the only one.
Yeah, she is a wild, aggressive, in-your-face fighter. I'm excited. You guys
to see her had to battle each other for a title. Who would win? Her
versus who?
Versus you. Like if I had to fight my wife, she'd definitely kick my ass. She's
how mad is she?
I don't know. She definitely wins a lot of our sparring sessions. I gotta be careful, and she does not.
Yeah, that's how that honey-do list gets done quick on the weekends.
Yeah. Put you in an arm bar.
You tap out. I'm fine. I'll vacuum.
Sorry, Madam Satan. I'm so sorry.
I can say whenever we box, I have to move backwards because she's just so aggressive and she's on me.
That's awesome.
Just for not doing the dishes. I saw somewhere, I think on your Instagram, that you were above 300 pounds at one time, right? Where are you now?
Yeah, I'm about 270, 265 right now.
Is that the ideal right there?
I like it. I could probably be a little leaner, but if it definitely feels pretty ideal. And let's see, mid quarantine or the peak of the quarantine weight is when I hit just a little above 300.
We all gained a little bit, right?
I think I put the COVID-19 to 20 pounds during the last year. It's been rough on all of us.
Murph's trying to jump up to super heavyweight.
I know. Like when Shinigami asked me how much I weighed, I was like, "That's personal."
Interview's over.
So we put a thing out for our for some of your fans and our fans to ask you questions. We got one response so far. Tyler Rambo 47 says, "What are you doing to build your confidence for the big fight?"
Oh man, I'm constantly visualizing, how I'll win, how it's gonna feel to celebrate, how I'm gonna finish, what I need a block to win that fight. I'm constantly running the fight through my head. I typically dream about my fights when they're coming up. Like it's all that I have going on. But I'm a very confident person, so my confidence is definitely up there. Yeah. But in terms of this fight, I don't think I'm doing anything too different. You just have to consistently do the right things, train, get that cardio in, and don't underestimate anybody. A lot of people, somebody looking like Shinigami, people will try to get you to underestimate them, say, they're out of shape, you'll take them out in one round, but you have to take everybody seriously, especially in MMA, and especially when he is a legit fighter that finishes a lot of people. So taking him seriously, but very confident.
I assume your game plan is to go right for the headband, get that off, and then he'll be powered down a little bit.
Exactly. If you watch my last fight, the first thing I do is I rip the guy's do-rag off, and then it's pretty much over from there.
You were practicing in case it was Shinigami.
Same idea. Without that power, without that headband, pretty
Is that
sure
Ryu?
What's that?
Ryu Senin?
No, it was against Days God.
Yes. Who did you fight in the dark? Because that was definitely a question of mine. Like, what's that like, fighting in the dark?
Oh, that was Ryu Senin. And honestly, it definitely adds an intensity to it. Because, he was wearing, black pants, and he was, a Taekwondo black belt. And, a kick in the dark can come out of nowhere. So it's kind of, even more urgency than I normally have, which is so much. I'm just in there to take people out. But even more so in the dark. I feel like it put it on another level.
Oh, and they have shoes on, right? Sometimes people have shoes on in street beefs. I'm like, do they kick in the head with shoes on?
Yeah, some people do. I prefer not to wear shoes personally, but it's definitely a preference thing. Yeah, just because I train every day without shoes, so that's what I prefer to do.
Yeah, I would imagine it's almost better to have bare feet, except for when you strike the guy's face. That would be beneficial, I guess, to have shoes on. But other than that,
yeah, they say some people say they like the traction, but I feel like when you can spread your toes a little bit, you get a little bit better for fighting.
Especially in that mud. Have you fought in that mud?
Oh yeah, a few times.
How many total fights do you have under your belt?
Just the four MMA fights, and then I have over 100 jiu-jitsu matches, over 100 wrestling matches, but just the 4 fights. But they've all been, they were all in the past 5 months.
What advice do you have for anybody that's interested in getting into MMA or interested in joining Street Beefs?
I think, test yourself, spar some, find people to spar with. But if you're comfortable with that, go ahead and go out to a Street Beefs branch. It's not that complicated. It's not that difficult. You join the Facebook group, you drive up there and you fight, and you get to test yourself. And it's a huge thing. It's a huge opportunity they're giving people to be able to learn about yourself like that for free.
I like that.
That's a good point. I want to ask you this. Did you ever expect it to be as big as it is right now? I feel like when you went out to what's that, Satan's backyard right there? Did you ever expect to be...
Am I the only one that wants to know what Satan's front yard looks like?
It's a mess. A lot of Christmas blow-ups.
I'm sorry. What exactly was the?
When you started, did you ever expect the whole extra aspect of Of course, it's on YouTube, but did you expect it to be as big as it's become? It's an intriguing fight. I want to know who's. I'm going to be tuned in. I think a lot of people are feeling the same way.
Yeah, I knew it would be a huge fight. Honestly, anything with someone that's gone viral like that. People want to fight them, Logan Paul and stuff. Everyone wants to fight him. Same idea with Shinigami. I'm excited I get to be the one to fight him. You know, he has a lot of clout. He has a lot of juice. He has a lot of momentum that I can take. A lot of followers, you know, I don't even have to take it all. A lot of followers we can share, but it's just great for everybody.
Yeah. So who's one person, famous, not famous, that you'd love to get in the ring with?
Famous or not famous that I'd love to get in the ring with? Huh. That's a really good one. Let's see. I think Shaq. I think Shaq would be a fun one. Respectfully.
Shaq?
Yeah.
Shaq is huge.
Shaq
He's
is gigantic.
He's like twice the size of Shinigami.
Easily. But, you know, he's a basketball player. And I would just grapple with him, too, if he was more comfortable with that. But, yeah, I would love to just work with somebody that size, you know? I'm used to overpowering people. It'd be interesting.
That's a big boy.
Oh, yeah.
That is a big boy.
A lot of momentum on his side.
You look at like UFC heavyweights standing next to him, and he's just like,
he's gigantic, man.
He's a monster. He's honestly like, he's almost like he feels like he's like a different breed of human if we were dogs. Like he just is so much bigger.
Oh my God, yeah, he's all proportion. It's just like, yeah, I'm just big. It's that's just what happened, you know.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I would love to. That was a celebrity I would love to throw down with. That would be fun.
I'd pay for it.
Who would you throw down with?
Who would I fight?
Yeah, if you could fight a celebrity, who would you fight?
Man, do you have one?
I think I'd fight Mike Myers. I heard he's a real asshole.
You want to fight him right now?
Yeah, I'll bring it on, Mike Myers.
Mike Myers is 60 years old.
Whatever. Let's go.
All right. I think this would be a tough match. I'd fight Michael Cera.
Oh, wow.
Just kidding. I like him. You got to be safe, you know?
Oh, man.
Do you have the belt? Do you have possession of the belt?
I don't have it with me right now, no.
Oh, that's it. Interview is over.
You got to take that thing to the grocery store, take it to the, you know, everywhere.
I feel you on that. I should.
If I had a belt, it would probably be the thing that I would wear all the time. I'm sleeping in it, taking a shower with it on.
Did you see the belt? I don't know if you saw the belt.
They should make like a tiny little version for you too that'll actually like fit in your pants. That would be sick.
Like you can actually wear every day.
Yeah, just like a little like belt buckle.
It'll be like our rock rugs, Bill. The title belts. We'll make little mini title belts.
Little.
Think how many we can sell to
title belts.
Mayweather. We can sell something to him. He's got lots of money.
It's genius, man. One of the many innovations from your brilliant mind. I saw after one of your fights you talked about bipolar and depression. Is that something that you've dealt with, or something you just feel passionate about?
You know, a lot of my very close family deals with it. You know, my brother, my dad, my grandpa, and then my wife as well. So very close to it. You know, yeah, it's very close to home between my family I always lived with and then my wife now. So she has bipolar, and you know, she's one of the strongest people I know. And of course, you know,
figuratively,
I thought between my grandpa and my other people I know, I thought I had an idea, but after living with her, I really know like the true battle a little bit better. Of course, I would never know as well as someone that truly has it, but it's just a struggle. And I just think it's something that people need to understand and to support. To support people understanding.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that affects a lot of people, and I think it's something that people maybe underestimate how many people are actually affected by it. And I think it's great to have somebody like you in their corner. You know, not only are you fighting in the ring, but you're fighting for them as well.
Well, I appreciate that. It's just like, you know, it's a little bit of a platform, so I try to do something positive with it.
Yeah, that's yeah. One of the things that we try to do is like drink good beer, do good stuff, and so like, and that's kind of what drew us in about Street Beefs. It's, you know, it was a way to diffuse situations that might have turned violent outside of the ring, and then, you know, guys like you and Shinigami and a few of the other guys in Street Beefs are using kind of like the internet fame that you're getting about this, and the you know, like things go viral and you guys get bigger and bigger. You're using that to not just say, look at me. You're saying, you know, look at, these are things that we need to change. These are things we need to stick up for. And these are things that we need to take care of people that suffer from it. So like, we respect you guys so much for doing that.
Hey, I greatly appreciate that. I mean, it's wild. Just like in that moment, like I'm just feel such a huge rush. And, you know, sometimes I have an idea of what I'm going to say, but then sometimes things like that just pop into my mind. Like I saw my wife, she was just right there, and it made me think of it.
Yeah.
She was thinking what she would have done differently to win.
She was savage. She was sparring the other day, and she had this chick's nose bleeding, and yeah, she's
Who is she fighting on March 6th? We should give her a little shout out.
Yeah,
Bill, we'll have to do a little logo for March 6th. Madam Satan is fighting.
Madam Satan versus Fierce Honey.
Fierce Honey.
Check it out.
Yeah, pretty cool name, right?
Bill, wasn't that the Street Beefs fighter name that you were going to use before you came up with Steel Wool?
Yeah, I Googled it. It was taken.
Dust Bunny was not.
No wonder.
So I think I think we can both say that we're really excited for your fight with Shinigami this Saturday coming up. You got a week. You got a lot of hard training to do. Get yourself focused. Is there anything special you're going to do, or any special pre-fight meal or post-fight meal that you like?
Oh, I always eat so much pasta, you know, the day before. So much pasta, and then the morning before, I eat like a granola bar or two, and then I eat a lot of fruit. Just like even the hours before the fight, I'm eating a lot of fruit. It's like that. The pasta is the good, long-lasting carbs, and then the fruit is like that, like immediate energy. So, and it's really hydrating too. So that's what I do. You know, that, a lot of visualization, and you know, maybe a hard training Tuesday, but then kind of tone things down from there. And you know, make sure I'm rested, make sure I'm healed up, and just ready to go. Getting sweats, you know, getting cardio going, but not too much hard sparring or anything like that.
Awesome. Well, we'll be tuned in. We'll definitely be tuned in. Any shout outs you want to do now? I know you don't like to do big shout outs before your fight, but any shout outs you want to do now to anybody, any of your sponsors, anything like that?
I'll say shout out to all the other, you know, preschool workers and everybody working directly with kids right now during the pandemic, you know, trying to set up our future, because kids are the most important thing.
No doubt. Are you in education?
Yeah, I'm a preschool teacher, and I've been a preschool administrator, or working in preschool some type of way, for like over 7 years now, I guess, 7-8 years.
That's awesome. Do the kids know that you're a Street Beef star?
Some of the older kids know, yeah, and it can be pretty cool. It can be pretty fun. It's awesome. Fun when the parents ask about it. That's probably my favorite. But pretty much all my coworkers know.
Does nobody want to get in trouble at the preschool because they're afraid they have to go to Big Smile's office?
Not at all. I'm not a stern type of teacher at all. I'm pretty soft, to be honest.
Only mean in the ring.
Yeah, exactly. All smiles until we get in the ring, and I'm snatching teeth.
Snatching teeth, baby.
If I had to fight you, it would be an easy match for you to snatch these teeth, because they're just. I got hit in the face with a hockey stick about like 3 years ago, and these things are barely hanging in there. So we get no fight. You pop me one time, you can have all the teeth you want.
Oh, well, you know, Tooth Fairy, pick them up for you and make a few bucks.
Make a few bucks.
Maybe that'll be my Street Beef's name, since Dust Bunny doesn't work. The Tooth Fairy.
Tooth Fairy's a good name.
I'm going to get your teeth right after Big Smile's done.
All right, guys. Before we do our goodbyes, I did make a little game. Let me share my screen here.
Oh boy.
And so we got a Smile expert with us. I made a game called Nothing, apparently.
That's a great game.
Craft Beer Review presents Celebrity Grills.
Okay.
I like it. So what do we got to do?
I'm going to show you just the mouth of a celebrity.
A big smile of a celebrity?
This is going to be a Jeopardy situation. I'm going to look here. I'm looking over here because my computer's over here. I need to see a hand. And then whoever, because they're kind of easy, so whoever buzzes in first, I'm going to call on, okay?
All right. So wait, so this is guessing big smiles with Big Smile?
Yes.
All right.
So the next thing you see is going to be a celebrity's mouth.
Okay.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Put your hand up. Murph? Was that Murph? Oh,
Yeah.
It's,
Who was it?
it's dancing around.
It's me.
Well,
Ah.
since it was dancing around, I'm gonna go with Big Smile.
Okay, that's Tom Cruise.
Ah.
Tom Cruise. All right, we're gonna have to give an audio clue. Shout out your name because you guys are like bouncing around a little bit. Okay, now you're not. Okay, cool.
All right, so
that
Tom Cruise?
was Tom Cruise.
right,
It's
yeah,
calm down. It is calm
All right.
down. Good. All right. 1 to Big Smile. Ready?
Okay.
We can
How
do
many are
hands.
there? How many are there?
There's only 5.
Okay.
4 more. We can do hands now, I think. I don't know why I was dancing around. You guys were like convulsing. Here we
Okay.
go. Next one.
Uh,
I got
Murph.
it. Anne
Yeah.
Hathaway?
yeah, that's right.
Anne Hathaway. 1 to 1.
Oh,
Good
man.
job.
Where you at, Big Smile, the smile expert?
Come on, man.
Honestly, I recognized her, but I was blanking on the name. I was like trying to think of movies she was in.
Princess Diaries.
I almost
Yeah,
went
that's
Julia
what I was thinking
Roberts.
of.
I almost went Julia Roberts.
Dust Bunny. All right.
I
number
see
1.
that.
1-1 to Dust Bunny.
Oh, I don't know her name.
Oh, shoot. I don't know that one.
Oh, man. I got to give clues. I can't even give clues. That'll be a
does it get
tie on
bigger?
that one.
I don't know that one.
You don't? People know it at home. Gabrielle Union.
I have no idea who that is. Is that Brandy?
Gabrielle Union.
Who is? I don't know who that
It's
is.
a big movie star. That's all.
You said movie?
Movie.
She
I
does
did.
have
I said movie.
Okay. Sounded like something else there for a minute.
Oh, did it? Movie. Movie. All right, we have 2 more left.
All right, here we go.
Here's your next one.
Oh, that's Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
Ah,
The best Big Smile
all
can
right.
do is
You're going down,
tie.
Big Smile. If I get the next one, you lose.
I know. I know.
All right, 1 more.
I have no. Oh, what is that guy's name?
I got it.
Big Smile.
Marshmallow?
That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Big Smile wins. It was worth 2 points.
Oh, get out of here!
Yay!
Let's go.
Who got this referee?
Yay!
I'll take it. I'll take the
Now
W.
he's 5-0. Now he's 5-0.
Oh yeah, that brings me up to one more question. Shinigami made a referee debut. Do you want to do something like that, referee?
He made a what?
He
was-
refereed.
Oh yeah, I would like to referee.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
seems
Definitely.
like responsibility to me. So that's why I was wondering if you were into it or not.
I'm into it. It's the best view in the house. You have to be very present, of course, but I mean, you can't be any closer than that.
Yeah, it's a great way probably to learn.
Definitely. I think the best way to learn anything is to teach somebody it. Because when you really teach somebody or you coach somebody on something, that's when you really get down to the nitty-gritty details and you really lock them in for yourself.
I agree with that.
No doubt. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I think this kind of wraps up our interview with Big Smile battling Shinigami March 6th at Street Beefs. It's an East Coast, West Coast battle. I guess it'll be a unification fight, right?
I don't think it exactly will. I mean, it kind of is.
Well, it
Depends
will
on how
be
you
to
look at
us.
it.
We don't
Both
care what
people
Street
still
Beefs
have the
do.
belts, but I feel like all the marbles are on the line.
Yeah,
Well,
no
that's
doubt.
exciting.
So, any final words? Anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
You know, just everybody out there, chase your dreams, visualize how you can go after it. And once you know how, go out there and get it.
No doubt. I feel inspired.
Well
now.
said.
Very good.
Let's go.
Well, thank
good
you,
luck.
Big
I wish you
Smile.
both-
Good luck at the fight this Saturday, and
Both of
and we wish you all the best. And we'll have you back on the show soon.
Awesome. I appreciate it. It was a great time. Craft beer, drink them up.
That's right.
You heard it here. Thank you so much.
Welcome everybody, come through. You don't want to miss this craft beer review. Drink craft, not corporate, that's what we about. Drink good beer, do good stuff all around, hey. Welcome everybody, come through. You don't want to miss this craft beer review. Drink craft, not corporate, that's what we about. Drink good beer, do good stuff all around. Just a couple of guys talking about what